Hello to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. Welcome to another episode of the new and improved Vigilante Vibes, where I give you all the Marvel discussions, theories, and news without the toxicity that's become such a big part of the fandom. I'm your host, Megan Nicole, and today I have a very special guest. For several years, he's been reporting on all things pop culture, with adding all the pizzazz to it while he does it. He's the Pop Culture Connoisseur. Please welcome Tom Craven, or better known as Off the Cuff Tom.
Coming at you live and direct straight from the Sanctum of Awesome. Thank you so much, Megan, for having me here on the Vigilante Vibes podcast. New and improved.
I'm so happy to have it. I can't believe we haven't done this yet, but we couldn't not have an episode talking about Kraven the Hunter without Tom Craven. So it's basically a Kraven with Kraven.
Pretty much. Yeah, we've crossovered on a lot of other things, but I don't think we've ever crossovered, ourselves. So this is fun. This is awesome.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Tom and I both are involved in Nerd Initiative, where you can find the reviews from toys to movies to TV shows to comics just by checking out nerdinitiative.com.
Yeah, see, comics, collectibles, toys.
Everything.
Random equipment. Yeah, sorry. That's why it's supposed to hide by my head.
Yeah, and even like holiday stocking stuffers. Like it's everything.
That'll be coming out. Well,
yes.
Depending on when this is, it either did happen or will happen. So.
Yeah, I'll probably release this episode on Monday, so it should be
That
right
night.
before. Yeah, hey, that works out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Tom, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself so we can get to know you?
So I've been doing this, as Megan said, I've been in the pop culture continuity for the past several years. I started off with one site, and it all comes down, believe it or not, to Power Rangers. Power Rangers started off everything with me. I grew up watching Power Rangers. Technically it's Voltron, and then Voltron, because, I would just keep this available and ready when everybody... So what did it start with? It starts with this. It literally sits right underneath my desk in case. People synonymously know me as a Power Ranger guy, but I was a child of the 80s, born watching television, had a Commodore 64 under my fingers at 3 years old, so like the nerdy and the geeky things had always been a thing for me. Obviously Voltron led into Power Rangers, so on and so forth. I was in someone's chat one day about 8 years ago. They said, hey, why don't you come on and just be a panelist on our thing? Oh, hey, do you want to write some articles? And next thing you know, I'm at New York Comic Con interviewing A-list celebrities, and I never thought that I would have this opportunity, more so to have the opportunity to sit here and talk with you. Hell with those A-list celebrities. I got to hang out with Megan Nicole.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I tell myself every night in the mirror. I'm like, look at you. Look what
It
you're
is.
doing.
It's. I'm so grateful. Like, I sometimes get very blasé. Especially, I'm going to give you a little peek behind the scenes. Like, we have a whole group chat going on, and everybody's like, oh, look, this person followed me, and that person followed me, and this person. And I'm like, okay, here's my one for every 2 months. There you go. But in the background, I'm like, oh, look, it's such and such person from such and such things. Like, sometimes I sound so flippant about it, but at the end of the day, like, especially when I get done doing a convention or whatnot, I sit back and have a beverage and go, shit. And be grateful for it. And all the people that I've met along the way. I really have not met I guess it's because I'm fortunate that I try to cultivate good relationships in the industry. That there really hasn't been anyone that I have not enjoyed working with. And if there was, I could count them on less than one hand.
I totally agree about the gratefulness of it all, because it's things that we get to do that years ago I was watching people on YouTube or on Reels. I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. The people they're interviewing, the people they're talking to. It's such an incredible thing, and it's something we never take for granted, because, we could just not be doing it. We could just be the listener or the watcher.
No, I don't think I can't pull up the watcher. The dress doesn't work. And the bald head, no.
And he is just so tall. Just so inconvenient.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, my wife's actually catching up in the living room right now with season 2 of What If.
Oh, is she?
She really is.
That's what I'm doing after this. So that's perfect. You kind of got to rewatch it because they made the show oddly that it all connects, which was a choice, but it works out for the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we're here to talk about is Kraven the Hunter, the movie.
Yes, completely disconnected.
So, we both saw it in theaters. What were your initial thoughts?
Wow, I get the whole theater all to myself for a matinee. I really did. Seriously, it was a random, what was it, Wednesday? When did I see it? No, Tuesday, and I had to wait for work, so I was like, all right, I'll go see it now, because I want to get on here and hang out with Meg. And I was like, okay, cool. So I walked in, and I had literally had the whole theater, or the Regal right by my job, had the whole thing to myself. I pulled in all the little side tables and had my snacks, and that was the great part of the movie. Yeah.
I always love when I get to see a movie by myself. Like with Blue Beetle, we had the entire theater together, but it's so daunting because you're like, this isn't good for the theater. This isn't good at all.
And the funny thing is they still have to play the movie no matter what, even if it's full or empty. Because they are contractually obligated to do that. But no, as far as Kraven the Hunter is concerned, look, it was a movie. Sony's doing their thing. Good for them, I guess. Bad for us. It wasn't a great movie. It wasn't a good movie. I would give it a almost mediocre movie. Like, I'm not going to knock it and say it was completely bad. Okay? Mm-hmm. I can't do that, because if I say that it's completely bad, it's going to take away from the idea that all superhero movies could be bad, or that it's going to reflect into somebody. So there's things that some people like, there's things that other people like, and that's the way it is in the community, and that's how we need to stay positive about it. If that's your cup of tea, that's your cup of tea. If you think if this is your first superhero movie out there in the whole wide world and you absolutely loved it, good on you. Trust me, dude. There's only places to go but up. That's the way you got to look at it. Will this be coming out in streaming soon? Oh yeah. I mean, heck, Red 1's still in the theaters and on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and then you saw how fast Joker 2 went on digital. It was 2 weeks after it came out into theaters. Venom 3 is now streaming. That was just in theaters. Yeah.
Good. I didn't even have a time to. So.
I didn't either. I wanted to, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But with Kraven,
like we have lives.
It's almost like that. Responsibilities, which is...
Ooh, what's that?
Doesn't sit well in my soul.
Not quite yet. Responsibility.
With Kraven, I wanted to like it so bad because I do really like Aaron Taylor Johnson in the role of Kraven.
He's a good actor. You know, in general, he's a good actor.
Yeah, and I mean, it's wild to me that 2 is not a big number at all, but when it's the amount of times that Aaron Taylor Johnson plays a Marvel character with a Russian accent, it's a really big number.
And you didn't see that coming.
You didn't see that coming. But...
Well, technically, it's his third time playing a comic book character.
But not with a Russian accent.
No, that's true.
Yeah. He's got a type. And, like, keep doing it, because, like, I'm enjoying it. You're doing great. But I did not like him in this movie. It didn't feel like the movie was all about Kraven. It felt more like a family squabble movie to me, which I get. It's a origin story movie, but we only saw a tiny bit of his origin. Just the rest where he was just dealing with family struggles.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it, okay? Yes, at the same time, it is an origin movie, and we did get to see how he got his abilities. Yeah. That was cute.
I think I used that word exactly in my review.
I mean, oh, look, feline leukemia. Who would have thought?
It was whatever the vial was. I watched the movie. I still don't know. And it was like that one single drop of blood that falls right into his open wounds. And that's when I laughed in the theater audibly. And like all 10 people that were in the theater with me kind of were like, I don't think we're supposed to laugh. I'm like, oops, my bad. No, that was a serious moment.
You're supposed to laugh.
Yeah, there's no way. It was cute.
Yeah, it was seriously something.
It was a choice, but it's just, I mean, all of it took itself so seriously.
Yeah, but I mean, it was funny when Stan Lee did it in The Incredible Hulk. It wasn't when Aaron Taylor Johnson or mini Aaron Taylor Johnson did it in, the Safari Boy, the film.
That whole scene was just insane because he just gets lost in the lion's eyes for some reason, and the lion just walks away with them, and everyone's just like, oh no. And then Calypso, little Calypso, comes up and just death stares the lion till it leaves.
Oh, that's because she comes from a long line of powerful women.
Which is great and all, but like that lion was hungry. So it was so weird. And then the dad kills the lion and says, I have taken the fear from you. You made it weird.
The kid wasn't afraid.
Bro.
He literally was staring it down. So I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He dropped his gun. He put it down.
And Russell Crowe is his father. Like, look, I get throwing mouse money at a movie, but where the hell is Sony coming up with this money?
I know.
How much did they spend on this film?
How much did they spend on Russell Crowe? Because it doesn't quite add up since they have said the Venom verse is pretty much done.
Kraven cost up to $110 million to produce. It was greenlit for 90, and then it ballooned because of the writer's strike.
Oh, I guess it was affected by that.
Yeah.
Time means nothing to me. It all blends together now. But then it's like, why would you throw so much money to get Russell Crowe, who plays a really good bad guy? Like, he is a good dirtbag.
Always has.
Yeah. And just for the same day the movie's released to come out and say, yeah, we're pretty much done with the Sonyverse, which is like, did you not want people to see the movie in theaters? Because that's what it sounds like.
4.7 domestic opening. I can't find it for a number. What he made. Nope. But yeah, I mean, look, Russell Crowe did a great job. The kids probably did a good job. The whole backstory that they did with Calypso was just so one-sided. I mean, a piece of cardboard had more depth.
And she in the comics, it's such a strong character.
Seriously,
Yeah, she dives into the Haitian voodoo that her family has not controlled, but has lived in for so long. And this one was just like, oh, grandma made one comment that one time in the movie.
Yeah. And, you're absolutely right. And I went into this as blind as I could. I know Craven, I know Chameleon, I know other characters, around this, Spider-Man. Calypso, my only real knowing of her was Marvel Superheroes 1992 Villains card, because I will always and forever remember that trading card in my head. It was, and here's the thing, I'm doing this literally off my head. I didn't look it up or nothing. It is a yellowish card, right, with a gray stone background, with Calypso with her hair just out everywhere, looking like Medusa. And it's the 90s, so she's wearing barely anything, skimpy leopard print. And she's got these big, and what got me was these big, red, glowing eyes.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Like, she was like, ha. And I was like, oh, cool, we're going to get that character. And then we got, I'm a lawyer. And and that's the other thing. She came to the UK. You don't call yourself a lawyer in the UK. That's bad writing.
What do they call themselves in the UK?
Barristers.
Oh. I didn't know that.
This is why I know things.
Yeah, in the comics, she's like wearing absolutely nothing. She has the hair that just, it demands attention. And she's like...
You don't skip wash day when you're Calypso.
Or you do. And that's that's how you're here. And she's like a voodoo priestess of Haitian descent. And You gave us the lawyer who didn't want to have anything to do with this, who gave a boy a card one time, which I didn't expect them to go too far into her story. Truthfully, I forgot she was in the movie until I saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, come on, man. This had to have been handled a different way.
There's a lot of things that could have been handled a different way, especially who the main bad guy was.
There were so many of them in this movie.
Well, it was a movie with bad guys about bad guys. I mean, did they even mention a single hero at all?
No.
Nope.
Nope. No. They wouldn't have mentioned Spider-Man.
No Eddie Brock, no Silver Sable, and even Sable's kind of
They're all kind of like that until you get to Spider-Man. Even Eddie Brock's more of an anti-hero to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And was the chick flying the plane who was Craven's personal Amalfi Jets?
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be Silver Sable? Like,
I don't know. I've been asking myself that. Like, they made a point to have her there, so like, who was she? That's one of the few things in this movie that, like, there were a few deep cuts from the comics, which I do love.
Yep.
But it's like, dude, why did you do this? And you're not even going anywhere with it. Like, I would like to see more of Calypso. I'd like to see her lean into these Haitian voodoo powers, but no. Because I like the girl that played Calypso. I thought she did well.
Mm-hmm. I think it came down to, it's the Craven movie, so we had to make sure to support him. And everything Kravinoff. So I get it. As far as the powers and abilities as far as concerned, yeah, it was kind of lame doing how they mixed up the serum and the blood and, this is the alpha, Magnus, whatever, Opus, whatever the hell they called the dragon. I mean, I was so involved with the Russian accent, I couldn't remember. So, like, all right, cool. Craven's had a few different ways of how he's gotten his powers, whether it's mysticism, and I mean that as far as not having a potion. Again, having a potion. He's even had eugenics at one point in the Spectacular series, in the cartoon version, which I absolutely loved. A lot of people didn't like it, but I liked the fact that it's like, okay, let's push him to the next level.
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, most of my pop culture knowledge is not in the comics. I'm the flip side of that. So it's like the TVs and the movies and all that. So when you get my references, that's the reason why. Ultimate Spider-Man and how they portrayed Kraven in that, I liked that one too, especially because they gave him a foil in the White Tiger and, that level of mysticism. That would have been, we could have seen, White Tiger maybe show up there for 3 seconds, but no.
White Tiger's supposed to be in Daredevil Born Again, right?
I don't know. At this point, I get them all confused.
Let me see. I know. There's so many animals as heroes.
We got a confirmed. Squirrel Girl.
Which they'll never bring in. They won't.
I want Doreen.
I do too. But like
they had her in Marvel Uprising.
Yeah,
like come on, just do it. Or Marvel Rising.
White Tiger will be in
Born Again.
Yeah, I feel like she. Yeah, well, I feel like White Tiger's just going to be on trial or something, and I feel like they're not going to do too much.
If not, she's still a good street level hero. I've
That's
never considered her anything more than that. And bringing her in Daredevil makes complete sense. But no, you're right. The deep cuts were there. My favorite one, and I because it's not like I was going to bother anybody in the theater, texting you right while I'm in there. The fact that they referenced the Jackal.
That I did not see coming. That was so surprising to me.
Now that's like, for those who don't know, that is the evil Marvel geneticist. Like, you take Kirk Connors and make him just evil mad scientist. Not, Doc Connors was trying to save himself. It was only his small lizard brain that was doing something else, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. Jackal, I was so surprised they said it a couple times, and I'm pretty sure it was supposed to lead somewhere with the Jackal too. But they finished the Venom Sonyverse, whatever it is. They finished it, so what are they going to do now?
Yeah, I mean, what could they do? What could they do to help the Sonyverse, even with the Marvel Universe?
Quit.
You know? Well, why not just give it all back to Marvel? Sell it back.
I feel like there's something going on behind the scenes. My daughter's saying,
do you think it could be like Warner? Sony's trying to make good on their contract that they got in the 90s. I get it. You know, when they bought all those rights away because Marvel was floundering. But at this point, like, they have their own 2 feet to stand on. Marvel does. They do. If they were smart, they should just pull a Warner Brothers and honestly make something, shelve it, take the tax write-off, and that's it.
I mean, I feel like there's something happening in the background that we don't know about. Like if there's a certain date that the rights have to go back or something weird. Because they have been pushing these movies out so fast. And they have not cared one bit about the quality of the movie. We've all seen Madam Web. I will take no further questions on that.
And Madam Web is still the lowest movie on my book, on my list.
Mine is tied with Morbius and Madam Web. Madam Web, I would probably watch again. But Morbius is just... it's exhausting.
You put the Doctor in, I was like, oh, cool, look, it's Matt Smith. But then at the same time, I don't even count that I watched Morbius, because, just before we started this, like I said, I watched that movie pretty much in fast forward. So, so does it count that I watched the movie or not? I don't know.
To be honest, after I watched the movie, I was like, I could have just not watched that movie and done a whole review on what I've heard, because everyone was right. It really did suck.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as the movie went through, we got to see a bunch of other different Marvel characters. Obviously, they introduced Dimitri, who, if you guys don't know, eventually turns into the Chameleon in the comics, probably one of the best assassins, and spies in all of Marvel, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's an amazing character. It was one of the things I really did like about the movie is how they handled Chameleon, because there was like that subtle impersonation throughout the movie. Then they finally we saw a comic accurate face.
Very comic accurate.
Which was like, I didn't know Sony had it in them to do that, to be honest with you.
It's not like they had anything left to lose.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they went really hard on that one thing, that one single thing. Which is like, were we supposed to get a Chameleon movie at some point? Is that what they were planning to do?
I don't think so. I think that, prime example, they just announced when we were talking over on Play for Keeps, because, I always try and do a shameless plug when I'm on one show for another. On Play for Keeps, we were talking about that whole new Spider-Man line that's coming out for 2025, and Chameleon's in that line. And the best part is that Hasbro has made it that he has a flaccid, because it's the only word I can think of right now, J. Jonah Jameson mask.
Oh.
For his hand.
I didn't know what you were going to say. That's interesting.
But yeah, so I got to give him credit for that. So that is the exact same face that we saw in the movies. I'm like, dude, kudos to them for doing that. Like, at least you got one thing right. How long was the movie? And you got 10 seconds right. You spent all your budget on that one thing.
I do think they wanted to set it up for a Chameleon movie, because, they didn't have anything planned after this, because they did say that they were done, but they left it so open-ended. I think they're like, but if we come back, we have a plan. Which, like...
2 hours and 7 minutes, and you got 10 seconds right with Dimitri and his, okay, let's add in his ventriloquism, and his impersonations. So you got 30 seconds right. Now, can I get back the other 2 hours and 6.5 minutes?
There was some funny moments with Dimitri, like when he was Harry Styles' voice. That I didn't see that coming at all.
Oh, I did.
It was like,
because they spent $110 million on it just to get the rights to use his voice.
I'm saying in the movie, because I thought he was just gonna. I didn't know what I thought I was gonna do, but I did not think it was that. Then he dropped a few big voices, and I was like, well, that's a cute idea. But then I think the real star of the movie was Russell Crowe.
Had to be.
Had to be. There's no way he could have. There's no way he would have been in the movie without being the star, because rightfully so, him in a Russian accent is just like peanut butter and jelly.
It is, and it's so funny being, you know, a Kiwi American actor. He does what he does so well. I mean, is there really ever a bad Russell Crowe movie? I honestly can't think of one. They're probably out there.
It's Kraven the Hunter.
Well, okay, I should say, is there a bad role Russell Crowe has done?
No.
As opposed to bad movie?
No, I don't think so. In all my years of living on this earth, I've never heard of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll give him credit there. He did his job. He understood the homework. And don't get me wrong, Aaron understood his too. Like, that dude got ripped for that movie.
God bless him for it.
Like, his abs had washboards.
It was so nice of him to do, because this whole time I was like, even if the movie blows, he's going to be so fun to look at. So I'm good. And that's what I leaned on.
It reminded me of all the jokes going around with the moms, you know, at the drop-off line back in 2016, 2017 with the Power Rangers movie, when the Red Ranger took off his shirt and same.
I think they had the same joke going around when Ben Affleck was cast as Batman. They're like, finally they made a Batman movie for the moms. And there's just like a bunch of horned up moms just like, oh my God. It's like, calm down.
Go watch Outlander. Just go watch Outlander. Okay? Coming from the guy who loves Outlander for reasons, but it's not that.
Well, in my head it is that, so I'm so sorry. It's not now. It is. That's all right. So there's a few things that I feel like someone who worked on the cast and crew of Kraven the Hunter was a super comics fan. And I feel like it was one person that snuck things in. Like, this one isn't comics related, but like the fact that he calls his brother Dima, that's the name of his pet tiger in PlayStation's Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, that's such a little thing they did, but it was big to do in the movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually just the slang or the short form of Dimitri.
What is Dimitri? Like, what is the short version of Dimitri?
Dima would be nickname. Dima, Maita, Jim, Jimmy, Demi, Demi, Mimi, Mitri, Jimbo, Mimi, Mitri, Demi, or Dimimi.
Just
also,
tree.
You could have Demetrius, Demeter, Demetria, or Mitar.
That last one kind of. That last one kind of.
M went in there.
That last one kind of slaps though.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it is right to throw that in.
Yeah, but I like to think that there's just one person on the crew that was like, I got to do this for the fans. That Sony's taken too much from us. That's what I like to think.
Well, has anybody gotten Paul Giamatti's side of the Rhino story yet? Because I know,
dude.
You okay? So the main villain in this movie was the Rhino, and how they introduced it was such a roundabout way. I didn't see coming. Like, as soon as he took off his little feed tube, as he called it, I was laughing, genuinely guttural, laughing in the theater. You couldn't. How sad is that? And I love Alexi, especially one of my favorite versions. Actually, is Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man from the Josh Bell version that he did a few years ago. That version of the Rhino in there, that touches your soul. I don't know if you watched that whole series. I absolutely, like I said, it's one of my favorites. Like, it probably ranks up there better than 90s Spider-Man.
Damn. I've seen some of it. Not like too much of it though.
Oh yeah. And like, they follow the typical anime thing. It's like, hey, we've got 5 seasons. We're going to rename each season. You might get a new power up or not. But by the end of the season, by the end of the show, everybody's gotten a power up. They introduced all these different spiders in roundabout ways. They even did Kane. Okay.
Oh, well, dang. Now I feel like I need to watch that.
Oh, if you watch that, have me back on. I will be here for that. I will hype that like nobody's business.
I am down to do it.
Not that I don't have some spiders in the background, just in case.
I do like that. I didn't notice that until just now. I've always just been looking at the Power Rangers right behind you, not like, oh, look at that. He's right there.
Yep, I got my Star Wars droid shelf up there. I've got 2 Fallen vinyls. My first Morpher I ever got. And then down here's some stuff working on for Play for Keeps.
So if anyone doesn't know what Play for Keeps is, it's Tom Craven and someone else we know, Mickey, who do toy reviews, right? It's toys.
So we do. It's a 2-pronged attack. Okay, so we do toy reviews all through Nerd Initiative, courtesy a lot of them from Big Bad Toy Store. Not that I have to say that, but a lot of them we do get from Big Bad Toy Store, with the exception of, you see, I have one that's not from Big Bad. This one hasn't even come out yet. I don't even know if it's been released yet. Let me double check if it's been released yet
this
before
is exclusive.
I say what it is. Hold on. Okay, it has been released. So,
okay.
I have, courtesy of our friends from Fan Home,
Look at that.
This is the Star Trek Picard USS Titan small scale. Fan Home is known for doing like these big scale models and stuff, but they've gotten into the smaller market, so this review will be coming out. So that's one side that we do it. And then every single Monday night, we do what's called Play for Keeps, the show. And on the show, every week, we pick a topic, and we do a deep dive in it. We talk about the toys. We talk about the toy history. Like you said, this week's going to be our stocking stuffer. Last week, we did Sonic. So we stay in our wheelhouse. Like, we don't really want to do something that's not something that we don't know. I mean, we will, don't get me wrong. If we have a fan request to do something, like, yeah, we'll push it out a little bit so we can do our homework. But last week was Sonic. I know the video games like nobody's business. Mickey is a big collector of the toys. As a matter of fact, I just picked him up some figures today. So
Aww.
I'll be shipping them down to him as an early Christmas gift. They come from Santa Robotnik. But that's just the good collector's thing. So we talk about all kinds of things of toys and, do reviews. Like, this is going to be the next one. This is Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. And that's why I have his younger version here for comparison. That's just out of my own collection. And then on Tuesdays we got Tap, where we talk about comics, and you've been a fantastic guest on there, and the variant editions and so on.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's always something going on, and we're coming up on the Cheersy Awards soon, I think,
next week. So
yes.
if this is coming out on the same day we do the Stocking Stuffer special, Mickey and I are getting bumped, and on December 30th we do the Cheersies Awards. The fun thing is none of you guys in the bullpen actually know who's won what.
I have no idea.
I do.
Oh.
Well, I absolutely know all the winners. But that's because when we got done filming our episode on the night that the ballots closed, we just lifted open the computer and went, that one, that one, that one, that one. Not like we're picking. It's like, oh, look who won that one. Oh, look who won that one. Oh, look who won that one.
So, I guess, I'm not going to ask you who won, because that's just not fair. But the category, what was the most surprising winner? What category had the most surprising winner?
Oh, it was that one. I'm not going to say.
Dang it. But, come on.
Nope. Sorry, I love what I do, and nope, it was that one.
That one.
I can tell you that there was one one particular category that when I found out won, I was elated. I was just jumping joy, so happy. It was not even Power Ranger related. But I was just through the moon about it. Knowing that who the person is that won absolutely deserved it. And I can't wait for them to do their little thank you video. And also the fact that I have a copy of that particular book because I'm trying to be so ambiguous right now.
You gave me like nothing there, but I'm proud. I'm
my
happy
job.
for you. I'm very happy.
Ken, did I do okay with the NDA? Ken?
I know he can hear us. He knows everything. That freaking
He's
guy.
like Santa.
Right? So if you guys are a little lost, check out nerdinitiative.com so you can keep up on all this stuff. It is a good time. It's a fun team. We do fun stuff, and we're super cute when we do it. So there, you really don't lose anything here.
No. But you know who did lose? All of us who spent our money on Kraven the Hunter.
I still had a nice time. I still got to eat popcorn. And when we go, we're like, there's a very big chance we're going to hate this movie. But like, that's our thing, is going to a movie theater. So we're like, even if the movie sucks, we still got to go. It still was a good time.
At this point, it looks like so the MCU has been part of the backbone of my wife's and I's relationship. Whenever it comes out, we must see it. The Sony movies were like, yeah, it's okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
What? Huh? What? We're bored this weekend? Oh, we have extra FU money? All right, let's go spend it on something.
The MCU was a big thing for me. So my husband's like, yeah, I'll be there. I'll support. I'll go to every movie. So he has no freaking idea what's going on or any care in the world. He's just vibing. But with the Sony movies, he's like, we're going to go see Kraven? Are you sure about that? And I was like, yes. And then after he doesn't know how I feel about it. So he's just kind of like, so the movie was, and I was like, oh boy. So I was like, yeah, I thought it was pretty. I gave it I keep changing my score. I gave it like a 5.5, I think.
I give it a 3 out of 10.
God dang.
Okay, if you want to go see a movie just to see action and whatnot, cool. That's got that. If you want to see testosterone on screen, cool. That's got that. If you want to see testosterone on a screen that has a terrible plot, awesome. You're right there for it. Because trust me, bet you didn't see that coming.
There was a few things.
And like, why couldn't we make the Quicksilver joke? Like, just frickin' do it.
I bet you anything that it was brought up and they were shot down. I guarantee you, just like Quicksilver was.
Or even say at one point, what the heck is the other dude? The other Quicksilver?
Evan Peters?
No, the name of the character, Roy or Ray or...
The other Quicksilver?
Yeah, the other Quicksilver.
Pietro?
Yeah, Pietro, or not... The actor who did the surprise cameo in WandaVision.
Evan Peters.
But what was the name of his character?
Oh, Ralph.
Yeah, mention Ralph. Put him on the list. Like, just throw it in the book. Like, seriously, it worked for Green Arrow to put in all these, names on the list. Why not just put Ralph in there? Ralph Boner, there you go.
They easily could have been like, I was talking to my friend Ralph. Would have gone so under the radar for so many people, they probably would have been just fine.
Seriously, or if you really wanted to make a deep cut, because I don't think that, because Foxverse is done, right? Mm-hmm. The best one you could have said, oh, this is my friend. Oh, yes, I have very many associates. One is Bob. He worked for Hydra. Like, throw in Hydra Bob. Like, fuck it.
They probably can't use
Can I
Hydra.
use that language?
Yeah, you're fine. I don't care. They probably can't use Hydra. Thinking about it.
But it's Bob. Everybody loves Hydra Bob. He's got a great tuna noodle casserole.
But they probably can't use Hydra. I bet you anything the MCU gives them a list of things they can and can't use, and there's just
for sure
the smallest things on it, like boner spelled with an H like it is in WandaVision. I bet you anything and everything is on that list, and I would die for that list because I need to know.
Yeah, like no.
There was a
like
few,
we're saying here,
well, there was
folks,
a few weird things. Like,
the Rhino was terrible. Like, I would love to
So
get
bad.
Paul Giamatti's it's okay. So the Rhino's been a suit. The Rhino's been genetically modified. The Rhino's been a mechanized suit. But to turn it into this weird eugenics, oh, I'm in pain all the time. Well, you transformed and we didn't hear you say one at all.
that's so true. Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And
it
then
just
the worst part
looked
is
so
like,
bad.
he bulked up and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna Hulk out in the car. And then all of a sudden we actually see the Rhino horns and I'm going, no, you put that away. You put that back. No.
It was just so weird. All of it was like, the one person I thought was super weird was Foreigner. It felt like he was there just to string together parts of the story that they were too lazy to figure out themselves.
Oh God, he was Scotch tape.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, but
And
then
I'll be honest, I didn't know who the Foreigner was until I seen the movie, because again, I could just go, who the hell was that?
oh, that's right. You could just take your phone out with no one there.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Gone.
Foreigner, he's an alright character. I never really got into him too much. He's just there. But then
Now
there
that
was
would be a character I could see against Daredevil or brought in by Kingpin.
Yeah.
But now he's stuck in Sony because, I mean, he would even be good, especially with like Falcon and the Winter Soldier being about a whole espionage movie. Like, come on, throw him in there. But no, somehow Sony got his mitts on him.
Well, it's a Spider-Man character, I guess. But the weirdest part, not the weirdest part, it's just the one that kind of sticks with me and sits with me rent-free, is when he goes at Kraven, finds out his biggest fear. And his biggest fear is spiders.
Because
Bro lived in the jungle. Bro lived in the jungle. And it's like, that was such a poor attempt at having a Spider-Man reference.
Now, you know what's even worse is the fact that, okay, he couldn't sleep in Dimitri's apartment, okay?
Yeah.
But dude could get away with sleeping in the middle of freaking London town.
And like no one
I
said anything?
get for us guys, us in the nerds culture, we're told to go out and touch grass, but that's just putting it on a whole different level.
He slept with the grass. He got intimate with the grass. But
seriously. But if you're sleeping in the middle of London, you're going to hear sounds of the city. I grew up in a major metropolitan area.
Yeah.
When I moved out to Bubble Nowhere, I had to get used to the sound of quiet.
I had to do the same. We're out in the middle of nowhere ourselves. But every so often we hear one single gunshot and we're like, mind our business.
Coyote.
So what you just tell yourself, you're like, someone's just getting a possum. That's all right. But
it's a Tuesday.
he just slept outside. No cops came and woke him up. Dude doesn't have shoes on. And it's just, Kraven, what's going on with you, bro? Because like you lived in a mansion more of your life than you did being outside. So like, don't be so extra right now. We know you hate this world.
Okay, so let's see. It was 10 years, right? So he was probably not old to drive, so he might have been,
I'd say like 13.
12 to 14 when everything went down.
Yeah.
And at this point, 26. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Oh, let's not forget the other great laugh. Oh, are you on the run? Yeah, get on the ship.
Okay. At that point in the theater,
Stranger danger.
I laughed so hard because I was like, even if you're not a parent, that's a terrible thing to do. You just stole a kid. He's a minor. He doesn't have rights. You just stole him. Wow. Are you on the run? Let me kidnap you. Don't do it yourself. I'll do it for you.
You are pretty for a boy. Yes, let's go.
Yeah, that was when I was like, Absolutely not. Anyone with the right mind would have said, go home.
Yeah, no,
But it's just another Scotch tape situation, I feel like.
now, if he would have like jumped on the back of the ship or at least hit on top of a Connex box as it was getting lowered on, yeah, I could see getting away with it. And then, using his cat skills to steal food and whatnot. Cool. The only good thing that came out of this movie was, one, the screen actor chameleon. Two, I did like in the third act when he was, going after guys and you saw the cat's eyes in the black background. That was cool.
Yeah.
I'm a cat dad. I've got, anything cat related. I'm in.
I also like the very end where that, I don't know why Sony does it. They wait till the very end for you to see the look, the suit, the comic accurate, the thing that we all wanted the entire movie, but you gave us the last 5 seconds of, is when he does the sitting on the chair with his hand underneath his chin with the lion's face or mane all over with the jacket his dad left him. I was like, I love that shot. I love that comic feel. Love it. But like, why did you wait to do that? Why would you do that? Why do you guys do that?
To get your hooks in you.
Bastards.
Well, that's why I sent you that picture. Like that, it was me on my throne at work.
Oh.
Yeah, see, that's why I sent it to you now, because now you have 2 pictures of Kraven the Hunter.
That's amazing. Perfect. I'm going to use it. But yeah,
that's what
you
I was gonna
sent
say.
me
Use
that.
it for the thumbnail.
Yeah, you sent
Just
me
cut
that.
him out, put me in.
Oh my god, that's
Save
what
me
I
a
do.
copy.
Well, because you sent it to me while I was recording with someone else, and I looked at it. I looked at my watch first, and then I was like, "Who sent me a picture of themselves?" Because it just showed the picture, and then I looked at my phone, and I was like, "Look at you, Tom. You look great." I did not. I'm so tired today. Now it makes more sense.
Yep. So you have your official Kraven the Hunter picture. Merry Christmas.
This was the best Christmas present ever. It's amazing. So, out of all of it, you gave it a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. It's the best I can give it. It's got 3 good things, and that's about it.
I gave it a 5.5, and I cannot confirm or deny that because of how hot Aaron Taylor Johnson is, that it is at a 5.5. Can't confirm, can't deny, but it probably is. So, why don't you tell our listeners where we can find you? You already talked about Play for Keeps, so it's really just about where they can find you.
So pretty much you can find me everywhere on the internet. Just look up Off the Cuff Tom. You'll find me on all the social medias, and under that, primarily you'll see me on on Nerd Initiative. It's where I do most of my stuff. So on Mondays it's Play for Keeps. On Tuesdays it's Turnipage. On Wednesdays we have all these fantastic comic book reviews. Of course, some of them coming from the fantastic Megan herself.
True.
Very true. But, again, I'm always open to talk with anybody. Just have a decent conversation and be a decent person.
And that's all we ask for in life. Wherever you're listening to this episode or watching this episode, look in the comments below. Well, I guess above the comments, right below the video, right in the show notes, and you'll see the links to where you can find Tom. It was such a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming on. I hope we do this again soon.
Absolutely. And thank you so very much again to everybody for listening, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.
Yes. Thanks for listening to another episode of Vigilante Vibes, the first non-toxic Marvel podcast. Check me out on all social networks just by searching Vigilante Vibes podcast. You can catch all my comic book, TV show, and movie reviews on nerdinitiative.com. Wherever you're listening to this episode, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any episodes. Thank you for listening, and have a marvelous night.